Could be a blockbuster trade coming involving the Miami Heat and an Eastern Conference rival that will break down on this episode of Heat Digest, as the Miami Heat are among the favorites to land one of the star players for the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm here to break down all the moving bits and pieces right now on this episode of Heat Digest, so let's get to it and break down Joel Embiid on his way out of Philly and the speculation surrounding this topic. Now, obviously, is it going to happen this season or in the near dated future? Absolutely not. I'm willing to bet a amount of money that I don't actually possess on that idea. Joel Embiid is not going to be traded from the Philadelphia 76ers to the Miami Heat this season, or really any time in the near distant future. But again, there seems to be odds on Joel Embiid and where he will land next, because the things going on in Philadelphia aren't going too well. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the Philadelphia situation looks a hell of a lot like the Milwaukee Bucks situation. They are getting off to a horrible start, despite having superstar talent and really a team built to win now. It is not going well for Philadelphia. Now, we covered the Milwaukee Bucks situation in previous videos over the last few weeks, discussing the Milwaukee Bucks star player Giannis Antetokounmpo and how we could possibly see him moved as soon as this season before the NBA trade deadline, as there was a bunch of news and speculation and articles written on the topic and involving the Miami Heat and other Eastern Conference and Western Conference teams that'd be looking to go out and acquire someone of the level of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Is it a long shot once again, just like this Joel Embiid situation? Absolutely, but it is worth noting that these teams are built to win now, and because they are not winning now, it seems like a move or just a change is on the horizon for either of these teams. Now, we have odds from Bovada. Once again, leave it to Bovada to drop odds on absolutely everything, whether it be the presidential election or the odds that Joel Embiid, one of the best players in the entire NBA, are going to be traded, and especially to Eastern Conference teams. Obviously, the Pacers are the favorite, which is absolutely insane based off the roster they have, the cap room, and really the fact that, again, another Eastern Conference team that is rivals to the Philadelphia 76ers, Knicks, Brooklyn, obviously there's a lot of teams here. The odds are very skewed because, again, it's a long shot to begin with. But then we see the Miami Heat at plus 650 to possibly land Joel Embiid. $100 to win $750 if you're not aware of how those odds would look and really work. I think it should probably be more than that. I think it should probably be plus 1,000. I don't know how the Pacers are such a low favorite. It is crazy to me. It really is. The entire idea is crazy, but I love the idea of it because, again, Philadelphia not doing too well, Miami doing better than they are. It's a win for us. But again, the idea of that Joel Embiid is going absolutely anywhere is coming from a few things. Obviously, Jimmy Butler, the star player of this Miami Heat team that just returned, that we'll highlight in just a second against these Philadelphia 76ers. But again, we know Jimmy. Jimmy played where? Jimmy played for the Philadelphia 76ers before he landed in Miami. Obviously, he played there. He played pretty damn well there. They made it to the playoffs. It resulted in them letting go of Jimmy Butler and then going and getting Tobias Harris, which then resulted in the iconic video of Jimmy Butler then destroying the Philadelphia 76ers with the Miami Heat and then saying in the tunnel going into the locker room, Tobias Harris over me a bunch of times, and it was a very, very funny clip, as again, you must be out of your goddamn mind if you think Tobias Harris brings you any more value or anything close to the same value as someone of Jimmy Butler. But again, we'll discuss that on another topic, or that'll be another topic we'll discuss on this channel of Heat Digest. But again, this is the big quote. This is really what it's coming from. And this quote came from Joel Embiid. And this came immediately following the massive win for the Miami Heat, 106-89 over the Philadelphia 76ers, just now 3 days ago, as it is November 21st. And this game came from November 18th. So again, 3 days ago. And we did win. We won it was a great game by the Miami Heat. Overall, a great game from Jimmy Butler specifically, as he had a 30-point performance in his first game back after missing 3 games with that right ankle sprain. Really, we didn't know how serious it was going to be. It didn't seem too serious when it happened against the Denver Nuggets just over a week ago. And then slowly but surely, he missed 1 game and then another game. He didn't travel for this game. And then we started to get nervous. He didn't come back for the Indiana series, which we desperately thought and needed Jimmy to come back for. It didn't happen. He resulted to come back for this game against the Philadelphia 76ers, and Well, could you have written any better than that? Obviously, he ends with 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. Overall, by far and away, Jimmy Butler's best game of the NBA season. Seems like things are really slowly but surely getting going for Jimmy Butler. And in result of his dominant performance, and obviously a dominant Miami Heat performance that resulted in a 17-point win over an abysmal Philadelphia 76ers team, who did have Joel Embiid in that game, I will say, who has missed a lot of these games up to this point. He did play in that game. It did not result in a winning effort, obviously. But then post-game, Brady Hawk was in the locker room, and he asked Joel Embiid, hey, what happened out there? How did Jimmy make a difference on this game? What was it like playing against Jimmy Butler, a previous teammate, someone you know who is as good as Jimmy Butler? And this is the response we got. Shout out to Heat Diehards on Twitter for posting this. They go on to quote the Miami Herald at the bottom when it says, quote, 76ers star center Joel Embiid in quotations or in parentheses via Miami Herald. It was from Brady Hawk from Twitter. Brady Hawk on Twitter. If you don't follow him, we've cited him on this channel a bunch of times. I have the original tweet here. I just like this one from Miami Herald because it has the entirety of the quote that I want to highlight in this video rather than just playing the actual Twitter clip and getting tagged for it. I didn't want that to happen. So again, shout out to Brady Hawk for asking this question, being in this position, and doing some actual journalism. Shout out to you. And again, this is from Joel Embiid on Jimmy Butler in the Miami Heat, saying, and I quote, Jimmy is Jimmy. He does everything, scoring and passing the ball on both sides of the floor. He's one of the best players in the NBA. Probably top 5. Probably the best, actually. The best player in the league. And that's the end of the quote from Joel Embiid. One of the best players in the league. There's no, I know right now he's playing horribly up to this point in the season. But again, if we go back through the resume, Joel Embiid is a problem. And there's no real way around it. The dude is a walking 30 ball, walking a 30 and 12 a night without a doubt. I know that seems crazy that he hasn't done it yet this year. I get it. I understand. Look at these stats. Look at the accolades on the far right. This kid is unstoppable when he gets it going. He's a 7-foot center who can shoot jump shots at a 50% clip, whether they be threes or long twos. He can make free throws despite whatever the hell last night was in that free throw attempt where he kind of fell over after he shot. That was weird. Or excuse me, that wasn't last night. It might have been last. Yes, it was last night. They, again, the Philadelphia 76ers dropped another game last night. It was horrible. They played against the Memphis Grizzlies, who did not have 8 players playing for them. And 5 of them were either starters or key players coming off the bench, including Marcus Smart and Ja Morant, and the list goes on and on and on. The point is, Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers seem to be burning the same way the Milwaukee Bucks were burning earlier in the season. Things are not working, whether it be the coaching staff, whether it be the players on the floor, or just whatever is going on. It is not working. If you watch them play the game of basketball, Joel looks fatigued. Paul George looks worse than Tobias Harris, and that is saying a lot. Paul George is a shell of himself, and he is abysmal, as well as with this entirety of this Philadelphia 76ers team. But again, these things are stemming to one big problem, and that's the fact that the Philadelphia 76ers are not going to get the job done this year, and because of that, we could see an implosion. And could we see the Miami Heat benefit from that implosion? It's a long shot. I don't believe I will see Joel Embiid in a Miami Heat jersey in my lifetime. I'm going to be honest with you, because of where the Miami Heat currently sit. We have a young star center in Khalil Ware. We have a young star power forward in Bam Adebayo. Jimmy Butler is aging, yes, but again, he's right at the tippy top of his peak, if not on the way down, but again, he's still at the top. And again, he has so much ability and so much potential still, as well as with the rest of this lineup. Tyler Hero, we're getting a career year out. Duncan Robinson isn't great, but again, he is a damn good basketball player, serves his purpose very well. Obviously, there's a bunch of complementary pieces, a lot of them being young. Pella Larson, already mentioned Khalil Ware. Jaime Jaquez Jr., the second-year player. These guys are getting better and better with the age and the experience, and because of that, do we want to move them? Is it something we want to do? Is Joel Embiid a player we want to go out and acquire? Is he someone that would fit into this Miami Heat culture? A lot of questions we don't really have the answer to. This is currently how the Eastern Conference is looking, and again, this Eastern Conference is horrible. And because of that, the Miami Heat are going to have a chance to be, this is not an exaggeration. I want you guys to understand that. We could be a 3 seed by the end of this year, and it wouldn't even be close. If we just win the games we are supposed to win, and we play hard, and we just play the defense required, we could be the 3 seed. No one's going to catch Cleveland if they are even remotely close to how they're playing now. They just lost their first game, and it came to the Boston Celtics. Shocker. And that was a 2-possession game, 1-possession game. It was very close. Again, Cleveland's in first, Boston's in second, and they're the only 2 teams that even feel like they have a positive record. Obviously, the Knicks in third and the Magic in fourth. Obviously, both have positive winning records. But again, it doesn't feel that way, as everyone in the Eastern Conference really does feel like they're underperforming to a severe degree. And again, to add a little bit salt to the wound, to close out this video on the Philadelphia 76ers and really the update that you guys needed if you have not caught up with them. Tyrese Maxey, they had a players-only meeting, the 76ers did, after an abysmal loss 3 nights ago. That was to the Miami Heat. And again, what happened? Tyrese Maxey, the star younger player on this Philadelphia 76ers team, who could have been a Miami Heat player if we didn't draft Precious Achiuwa, but again, we're not going to talk about that, went out and he challenged the multiple-time All-Star, the MVP frontrunner, Joel Embiid from previous years ago, and he just straight up challenged him. Hey, we need you to play better. What are you doing? Pick it up. Let's go. Let's get the ball moving. We need you. You are the heart that beats this team. And that's not happening, and we're losing a lot of games. Again, they are 2-12 now. 2-11, 2-12. They are the bottom of... They're 2-12. This is as of today. They are 2-12 after the players-only meeting where Embiid was challenged. Again, this is not working in Philadelphia, and because of it, could we see an implosion and see the Miami Heat benefit from it? Again, that was it for this episode of Heat Digest. I will see you guys on the next episode when Joel Embiid is no longer a Philadelphia 76er.